What is happening, troops? Welcome back to Oblique Kick Gaming and welcome back to the CCL. We kick off this episode in the results from the previous week, and this is the week that we didn't see in between. And as you can see here, there's so many goals scored, it is hard to keep count. There's just so much fantastic stuff to unpack here, and we will jump into it right now. So first off, starting at the top, ABT boys have been on a really good run and they managed to not get a single goal into them as they played Wakefield City, getting 2-0 as the final score. That was a really good performance from them, and De Bruyne and Militao managing to pick up the goals there. A 5-1 win for Oblique Ramblers, who look like they're finally in this competition at long last. We see a hat-trick for Cristiano Ronaldo, who has been way too quiet so far throughout the couple of games that we've seen happen, and 5-1 over Hoof FC is fantastic. PK and Ozil rounding that out. Ozil was playing as David Silva was injured for that game, and Suarez picks up the one consolation goal for Hoof FC, but hopefully, for me at least, Oblique Ramblers are back in this competition. And Cornish Marauders bounce back from that Wepu attack loss with an outstanding 5-0 win over How I Met Your Mata, and Alexandro did get sent off for How I Met Your Mata, so he will be out for a couple of games too. Sadio Mane picks up the hat-trick in that game after he was a little quiet in the one we watched. Aguero manages to get the goal as well, and Odriozola, who was someone I was saying was outstanding, maybe needed a goal now to manage to pick it up. It looks like how threatening are they on that right side, with Manny and Odriozola picking up 4 of the goals in that game against How I Met Your Mata. Wepu attack continues to be an absolutely undefeated stormer of a force in this, with a 4-0 win over Bayern Munchies as well, one of the top pick teams, and the Wepu attack 4-0s them. That is absolutely outstanding. A penalty was given away 3 minutes into that from the Munchies, which is a really unfortunate thing. So and Nabry pick up other goals, and the substitute Kramaric slots in a late one to do the team justice. And then we move into Custard Donuts, dethroning Keebs from their top of the league region, and a hat-trick from Neymar is what will do the trick in that one. Van Dijk got the consolation goal late in the game, but that was a brilliant performance from Custard Donuts, who are slowly building themselves into this league. Relegation Athletic scored the most goals of anyone this week, with 6 goals, past Cookie Collective, who are really struggling to keep up with the rest. Lewandowski did pick up 2 goals for them, but we see 6 goals. Diaz, 2 for Henderson, Lautaro Martinez, Moret with an OG from Cookie Collective, and Jorginho rounding out their goals. Brilliant win for Relegation Athletic, and that will do their goal difference justice. Donmaster Rovers have got a win. Hallelujah, they are back in this competition with a big 3 goals. Shithouse FC unfortunately falling down a little bit more once again, and Donmaster Rovers hopefully can use this and have confidence going forward. And then a big 6-goal affair split down the middle from Fletcher's Jets and Waterloo Hotspur. We see Jota, Dybala and Firpo picking up those goals for Waterloo Hotspur, but Hudson-Odoi, Maddison and Fernandinho getting the goals, especially that 92, like look at that, the goals that came through. So we had very early goals for Fletcher's Jets, they were flying, they went the whole way well, 70 minutes hits, boom, 2 goals right off the bat for Waterloo Hotspur. It was fantastic. They evened it all up, and then at 89 minutes, Waterloo Hotspur slot in a goal. They look like they're just going to steal this and go away, but nope, Fletcher's Jets are not taking this lying down. 92 minutes, boom, goal comes in, all square, each leave with a point. So some tremendous amount of goals there. I cannot wait to go through this and look at the goals of the week, but we'll have a little look at what the table looks like after that. And again, as I will point out in almost every episode, goal difference is an account even if the league table doesn't reflect it. So the first 3 are set as they are regardless. Wepu attack undefeated so far, best goal difference at 7, 12 points from 12 points. Brilliant performance from them. AVT boys climbing up a little bit, just sneaking up towards that top spot. No losses either for them. The Invincibles is still on, even if there is only 4 games played. And Custard Donuts have came right back up and got themselves 9 points from the last 3 games, which is great to see. The teams struggling the most appear to be Waterloo Hotspur and Cookie Collective. Both have yet to register a win in the league, and at this point they're a bit behind. Each of them are like, they're 10 points and 11 points down respectively from the top of the table, so they have so much to come back from, but we are early in this league and it is all still to play for. So we'll have a little look now at which games we are going to be having today. So this is our schedule for today's games. We have Fletcher's Jets versus the Cookie Collective, and you have to think coming into this, Jets are going to be the favourites, with Cookie Collective just struggling that little bit. We have Hoof FC versus Custard Donuts. That is an insanely good affair, with them both being really consistently solid teams right now. How I Met Your Mata versus Wakefield City, a little bit of the middle tier dwindling teams, but that might also be because we haven't watched either, so that is the game we will be watching today to learn a bit about those teams. We have a top of the table clash between the Weapon Attack and ABT Boys. Whoever wins this will be top of the league by a bit of a margin, and that will be brilliant to see for the managers of those clubs. That's CasaZuSalzburg and ABTFM. RB Cubes and Cornish Marauders, that rounding out that kind of top 4 range, they are looking for wins big time out of they two goal scoring teams. We have Edward going up against Aguero. That will be fantastic to see. Relegation Athletic, after their huge win coming against Donmaster Rovers, who have registered their only win so far. So if Donmaster Rovers lose, they're going to see the confidence sucked right back out of them, but a win over a team with the ability to score like Relegation Athletic, they'd be laughing. They really would be. And then you've got Bayern Munchies versus Shithouse FC. Munchies have fallen a bit. They're 1-1 and 2, I believe, from these games. So it's really hard for them to come back now. They looked like they're one of the top teams right at the start. And Shithouse FC kind of fallen a little bit too. They started out well, but kind of fallen a little bit now, so it's going to be hard for them too. And then finally, Waterloo Hotspur versus Oblique Ramblers. Old Lady Players versus the Oblique Kit Gaming. Don't know why I added a "the" in the front of my name, but that will be a really good one, as there was a lot of banter between those teams back and forth about age, so there's a little bit of a rivalry. Oblique Ramblers are going to have a point to prove that age is just a number against Waterloo Hotspur, who have been struggling in the league so far. So before we jump into the specifics of How I Met Your Mata versus Wakefield City, we just have a quick overview of the injuries and suspensions, and you can take a lot of that from yourself. I won't go through every single aspect of it, but I will touch on some key points. So here are the injuries so far, and we have a couple of people out for a bit of time. I think the longest amount of time that anyone is out for is Hakim Ziyech from the Wakefield City team, who broke his leg and he's out 2 to 4 months. Francisco Acerbi? Francisco Acerbi? Yeah, sure. He's out 7 to 10 weeks, quite a long period of time as well. Eden Hazard is out for a bit. He's a great player. Samuel Umtiti, Casemiro, who played really well for Hoof FC, he is out for 2 weeks as well. Moussa Dembele's still out for Oblique Ramblers. I think that's a second injury for him. Couple of players out for How I Met Your Mata, Cookie Collective and Waterloo Hotspur. No one for a huge amount of time, but potentially 3 weeks for Vasalchko. Sure. All of these names are crazy. Simon Vasalchko is out potentially for 3 weeks, and I would just say the word Vasalchko for the rest of my life until I get it. So some losses there, but the bigger one, because this is such a harsh league, is the suspensions. Now, the two key ones to look at first is Hoof FC has been without Sabitzer for 2 games so far, and they will be without him for this game as well, and then he'll be back, but that has been quite a loss for them as he got red carded. But for How I Met Your Mata, it's even more harsh, as Alexandro is out for the next 3 games after he got sent off in that last one, so that's really harsh for him, and it'll be really hard for them without a player of his quality playing. They're also going to be without Mason Mount today, who received 2 yellow cards, and we have a couple of other good players throughout. As you can see, we'll just see if any specific team are doing bad. Hoof FC have 4 players out with suspension. That is really harsh for them. They really need to get their discipline under control, because Acuna himself has got 3 yellow cards as well, so that's going to be really hard for them. Cookie Collective has a few people out as well. So I think what we'll look at then is we'll have a little look at the teams that might be in trouble. So Fletcher's Jets, I believe, is the first one I was going to look at. And Fletcher's Jets has been forced with a couple of youth players coming in. You have Miles, Morling and Palmer, and they are not going to be of quality. They're going to be quite weak players, but they don't really have a choice with the 2 suspensions and the injury. The plus side is they seem to be able to generally get all of their best players still on the pitch. The only one to look at there is Hudson and Doy playing a little bit out of position, but you still have the likes of Mbappe and you still have Gabriel Jesus, who has all 4 goals so far, so that's quite good to see from them. Another team struggling is FM Tahiti because they have quite a few players missing in action for their next game as well. We have 4 people on their bench from the youth team, as they have 4 suspensions and an injury. That is brutal from them. It does mean Catermo does get some space on the team, which will be good for everyone, as everyone wants to see a little bit of Lee Catermo playing. We have Mo Besic is playing in defence in a position that he's not really that comfortable in. Same with Palomino on the left hand side. He doesn't seem to really enjoy playing there, but alas, they don't have the most amount of options in the world for alternatives. Cookie FM has seemed like they've been struggling right from the off, and again they are another team with 4 youth players being forced onto their bench, but they do seem to have generally quite a strong first team here, so hopefully they get their suspensions cleared off and they can come back at full force. But it looks like Cookie has had problems right from the start with both injuries and now suspensions, and they're really going to have to figure something out that they can get a full force team to start coming back in this league. And we have saved them to last, as this is a team we'll look at in a bit more detail, but How I Met Your Mata also has 3 youth players on the bench, and that's because they are without Sandro, Mount and Romagnoli, and there's a really awkward one going on. So when you look through their team, the reason they're getting forced to play De Vrij, who is injured and is really lacking both match fitness and he's lacking in conditioning with that knock, is because they only have 1 substitute defender, despite the fact they play with 3 central defenders at the back. I don't think that was the best idea, and the only central defender they do have that can come on is a youth player, and as one of the weaker players in this competition. He has the lowest paid of everyone out of all of them as well, so that is maybe something that might get in his head a little bit. But yeah, it is kind of a bad setup from them. They also have Dest, who isn't the strongest on that right, or on that left wing position, sorry. And yeah, it just looks like a little bit of depth issues for How I Met Your Mata, as they are only without 3 players, and other teams have a bit more than that and still seem to be able to manage a bit better. So from here, we will look into this team a little bit more detail in a minute, but we're just going to look at a couple of facts of these, because I have found some interesting stuff. So the smallest player out of everyone is Mason Mount from How I Met Your Mata. Of course, he's not going to be playing today, but he is the smallest player of all, which is a little bit interesting, I have to say. And also we have Nicolo Armini, who is, as I said, the lowest paid player of everyone in this league. When we look at their stats, you do see they have quite a young team. Not the youngest, that does go to Fletcher's Jets, but there is quite a young team from the but there is quite a young team from T Davies lineup here, and that is quite interesting to see. But they don't have that many international caps, so it shows that slight lack of experience. Of all teams, they do have the best work rate of everyone, which just shows that youth, that figuration. They just want to play it and they want to go hard, and that is really good to see. They also have some good teamwork going on, so some really good mentals from them that should help them in this game. One thing to note though is when it comes to just their technique, their passing and their first touch, a little bit of gaps there, which isn't great to see. They do have the best throws from goalkeepers, which you have to say isn't the most important, but what is important is they also have the worst reflexes of any team, which is quite a hit. And also Wakefield City have the best reflexes, but we will get into their goalkeeping in a little bit, because there's quite a few things to unpack from that. The midfield of How I Met Your Mata have the best stamina of every team, as well as them having the best heading of any team too. So there's a couple of stats there. They also have the worst throws of anybody, and it does seem like quite a few attacks throughout this competition have been happening from that throw-in position. But we will jump into Matty89's team now and have a little bit of look at what he has. It was a very Manchester United based team that he has here. There's nothing in there to note from his team, from the Wakefield City team. They are the lightest team of everybody. I'm not too sure how to assess that and how to really think of that. And they are quite a tall team too, a little bit higher than average. So that is something to note. So quite a light team, but not the smallest team out there as well. Their goalkeeping stats are extremely high, best reflexes, best handling, and the best agility. But to note, very bad throws and terrible command of the area, the lowest in the league in both of those. So there's some goods and some bads to take out of that. Their attack has the worst long shots of anyone, so don't be expecting them to be hitting 40-yard missiles. They are going to be much more focused on getting that ball into the box. The team also has the worst vision of everybody, so maybe again with those long shots, maybe not the type of thing they're going to be looking for. They might want to keep the ball at their feet and try and play it at their feet. Just repeating words there over and over. So have a little look at Matt89's team here. And they do have quite a few yellow cards, and Martial is coming in with a bit of a knock, but you have to say it is quite a strong team here. Ziyech and Manolas are the only two players that aren't available, but they seem to have been completely filled for their positions, which is good to see. So quite a strong team here, and Benzema has managed to bang in 3 goals so far. Surprising to see Quincy Promes there on the bench. He has 2 goals, very good average rating for the team, the second highest, and he did get that really strong goal in the top 10 of the week in week 1, so some good stuff here. It is interesting to note that they don't have a backup goalkeeper, so they are playing with their youth player, whose name is Jonathan Bello, and you see just not the best stats in the world. So you wonder if that's affecting, or is it just because they've only got De Gea that's affecting their top stats? It's hard to know. But regardless, this is who they're going with today, and with all of that said and done, it's time to jump over to our matchday commentators who will break down all the action for you now. Hello and welcome to today's game, which is contested between How I Met Your Mata and Wakefield City. Now, both of these teams have been a little quiet in the mid-table, to be honest. They haven't really broke out from the pack, so we're looking for someone today to make a big statement and prove that they are not just happy to sit and be happy to avoid that bottom spot. Someone who's looking to make a move and do something with their team, and that is what we want to see out of these teams today. Now, on the left-hand side, we have the How I Met Your Mata lineup, and the first thing to know is just how defensive that is. Such a compiling of people at the back, and there's only 2 guys up front, so their game plan is obviously to try and shut down all offense and just bang the ball up to Firmino and Aubameyang and hope that they can do all of the work for them. But meanwhile, over on the Wakefield City, it's a lot more balanced. We have the two centres and then the 3 in attack, and it's just a very typical team. Something to point out is Alex Telles has got the best amount of assists in this competition so far. So I think what they look for is for him to bang that ball up around Benzema, and then hopefully he is able to finish that for them. So this is the game we've got today. We have a great battle with the goalkeepers with De Gea versus Neuer, and let's jump into the action and see who can stand out from the pack and who just blends in or drops down even further towards the bottom. So as we said, we've got Wakefield City in the blue here with the red and white trim, and the all purple going to How I Met Your Mata. Immediately an attack from Wakefield City here. The ball goes in. Marshall! What a start from Wakefield City. That was absolutely brilliant. I barely even got my words out. That was a fantastic start for them. But are they able to continue and keep capitalising? The ball is immediately with How I Met Your Mata in Wakefield City's half. Let's see if they're just able to keep this a little bit calm and a little bit collected and bring this game back. It's playing out from the back now from Wakefield City. Wan-Bissaka. awkward, very awkward pass back. That was very dangerous from them. Luckily, De Gea manages to get to it in time, but they have to be more careful from that. Bissaka seemed a little bit complacent there and a little bit out of his element. Wan-Bissaka again, though he's on the attack, he can maybe redeem that awkward pass. He does not get the cross in. The ball is with Dest now. Dest with a terrible touch. He's fallen all over the place. What terrible, it looks like he was on ice skates. The ball goes in. Van de Beek, and it's in. What an absolutely stunning goal. Van de Beek with a kick from outside the goals, and it's been disallowed. What happened? That was absolutely stunning, and it got disallowed because Benzema was offside for the header. That is crushing for the Wakefield City side, and the fans are absolutely dejected in their seats from that stunning goal from Van de Beek, which was disallowed. Oh, that is just gutting. That would have been a shoe-in for goal of the week, but unfortunately it is not to be the case now. Florenzi on the right hand side trying to make a matter. Nice ball back to Kante with a lovely awkward shot, and De Gea has to jump up to get a hand to that. That was lovely from Kante, but it was just in a weird position which caught everyone off guard. Pellegrini with the cross in, it does get cleared by Musacchio, I believe. Florenzi with a good counter-attack. Very slow start here. I don't know what's up with him, why he was struggling there, and it was because I was not a counter-attack. I got the teams mixed up. I apologise. Wan-Bissaka here. He's very involved in the game, at least Bissaka. You have to say that about him. He's very invested in what's happening at all times. Sejanus Under, let's call him that. Sejanus Under, ball back to Fernandes. Lovely. Oh, what a goal! How did that even possibly go in? What an absolutely fantastic goal from Bruno Fernandes, and from what an angle as well. Almost outside the box, far to the right, and I think he had his back to the goal as well when he decided to even take the shot. That was just stunning bit of football, and what is that? That is just absolutely spectacular. No one is blaming Neuer for not getting to that, because no one would have even thought to jump for that. That was brilliant. Beautiful bit of football there. And I'm unsure why, but it looks like the How I Met Your Mother team is different from the one we broke down coming in. So I'm not too sure how that happened, because I'm the one that is quick picking the team. So not entirely sure what occurred there, but De Vrij is not playing. He is on the bench with his injury, which is good to see. I'm not sure what they've decided to go with instead. Very awkward from the back here from How I Met Your Mother. Armini hits it up. It does go to Firmino. He is able to... Nice ball forward for Aubameyang's 1-on-1. And it's a nice save from De Gea. Nice bit of play there. Really good from Firmino in that position to get that pass off to Aubameyang. Looking like Firmino might be the man to look out for. Going for the header as well there. Kante in a good position. He did get a nice shot earlier. Pellegrini. Just holding it up. Can he get it in? He can. The ball bounces off him. And what is Van der Beek doing? That ball bounced off of the other guy. Van der Beek, even though you had a nice attempt earlier, that's just not how you play football. That's not the rules. Firmino with a lovely header. De Gea gets his hands to it. And we are going to continue. But yeah, the number one thing to point out here is just how amazing that Bruno Fernandes goal is. I don't think I even gave it enough time, because it was just so stunning. Telles here, we know he has the top assists in the league so far. McTominay, is he able to do anything with it? That's it, Under with a lovely shot, and there's another one! Oh my god, what is Wakefield City doing? Did I not just tell you in the build up to this that they have no long shot capabilities? Because this is the third one they managed to slot in from an absolute stunning distance in a row. I know one of them was an offside, but look at this for a goal. That is absolutely incredible. Under just goes for the shot. Absolutely perfect. No one expected him to go for it, and Neuer must be thinking, what the hell is happening? He's just against homing missiles right now. Outstanding stuff from Wakefield City, and How I Met Your Mother must be feeling gutted. They have as many shots, don't have as much possession, but they have more shots on target, but it doesn't matter when Wakefield City can just close their eyes, kick the ball, and it ends up in your goals. Fantastic stuff. I was incorrect before as well. It looks like De Vrij is playing, but he is maybe playing in the middle, in the centre position. So I'm not too sure what is going on with the pre-line-up at the beginning. I could just be getting something very wrong. McTominay passes up Bissaka here. He is running in. What a space for Telles. No wonder he has these assists. Is he going to get a ball in? He does get the cross in, and it's going in for an own goal off Florenzi. Oh, that is shocking. That is so heartbreaking from the How I Met Your Mother guys. Unfortunately for Telles, that is not going to count as an assist, despite the fact that he should, because he set that up. But, oh, that is just crushing for How I Met Your Mother. Just completely bounces off their man, tries to chest it, rolls off the wrong way, and it is 3-0 to Wakefield City. They are running away with this game, and it's all falling apart for How I Met Your Mother in these early moments. And you have to say, even scoring on goals as well, all they're looking for is a red card now, and they're just hitting the home run of destructive games. We haven't seen someone get absolutely ripped apart yet in these live comms. Under, lovely ball in, doesn't get the good shot this time, and it does go straight into the arms of Manuel Neuer. But yeah, we've seen quite even games in these live comms, but 3-0 so far is the best we've seen, and yeah, that's a great performance. De Vrij passes it to Kante. Back to De Vrij. They don't win the ball with him too much with those injuries. Tonali, lovely ball over, but it does get caught by Telles. Aubameyang, Firmino has it one-on-one. He gets it, and it's in. Robert Firmino has brought them back, and they have a chance here. They have a chance to do something with this. You have to say the defence, I don't know what that tackle was supposed to be, but it just completely set it up for a one-on-one opportunity for Firmino. Who was it? It was Musacchio. Terrible attempt. Doesn't get the ball properly and concedes that goal for his team. That is devastating for them, but they still have the two goal padding, so they have something going on for them. And they also have a corner here, and it is Fernandes who's going to be trying to swing it into his team. It goes in, is headed away by De Vrij. Musacchio is able to do something to bring it back. He is not. He has a long shot attempt and bounces off the first man and rolls out for a throw-in to Wakefield City. Matty's team have been doing good, have good possession, they are getting good shots, but it looks like their defence maybe is getting cut through a little bit because there is more shots on target and almost as many shots for How I Met Your Mother as well. But Segina Zundar and Bruno Fernandes with two absolute rockets. What a good performance from them so far. Tonali picks up the ball, Pellegrini just tries to clear it. It does just sit right with Telles. Are we going to see a good performance from him? No, the ball is kicked by Aubameyang, picked up by Bobby Firmino. He is running into the box. Is he able to do anything with it? Gets past his man. Lovely attempts. Two lovely shots, but De Gea is there and able to get both of them, deflecting them out, and we are back for the second half. It's going to be a lot to ask from How I Met Your Mother to get back in this game, but they have had some good attempts, so we'll see if anything that can come of their second half attempts here. Segina Sundar. Back out to Wan-Bissaka. A little bit quiet towards the second half of that half there, but still doing something. Bissaka, McTominay, ball over, Van de Beek again, just holding it up in this midfield position, maybe waiting for something to build up itself. They might not want to rush anything. And we are now out of the highlight and we are just moving forward with that. There is a substitute from the How I Met Your Mother team, which is an intelligent one. We see De Vrij coming off, and I think it was Tonalise, I believe his name was, has came on instead. So they are trying to protect our man. They just wanted him for the first half, and through ratings alone, he did seem to have the best performance for them. Telles managed to hold off his man perfectly there. That was beautiful. Lovely ball in. Another, not another assist for Telles there. Benzema can't keep it down. Sends it over the bar. And we are back into the breakdown. But we're seeing some good performance out of a couple of people in the Wakefield City side. De Gea's got a good rating. You don't usually see that from goalkeepers. Telles is playing well and is very involved. McTominay's just adding a good level of strength and holding up the play in the middle to give his team time to push forward and break through. Kante. Back to Tonali. Might have been Tonali actually that came on. Aubameyang, good strength to get that header in. The ball does go out to Dest, who has been a little bit worse for wear throughout this game. Kante again. back to defence. It is going all the way back to the goalkeeper here. Just they're struggling to break through. It looks like we have quite a good, solid defence, and at least in positioning from the Wakefield City team, but maybe not when it breaks through to the final third. What a ball through! Aubameyang's 1-on-1, and what a save by De Gea, and what a pass to get that ball to Aubameyang. That was absolutely gorgeous, and how De Gea ever managed to get that, I'll never know. That's Aubameyang will be kicking himself for that. What a performance from David De Gea, or David De Gea. Can't remember. David and David, they really need to make that clear. We need a little line above a name or something to make that evident, so people like me don't be uncultured. We have Nicolo Zaniolo has came on for Pellegrini, as well as Quincy Promes, who has the 2 goals coming in for Martial, and you're hoping Promes is going to make a difference here, maybe bang in a goal to sign it all off for Wakefield City. They have another yellow card there for Kante. Wakefield City showing fantastic discipline. Not a single yellow card throughout the game so far, and that's going to be so useful in this competition. Ball in, it just bounces out to Zaniolo, goes for the long shot. It's out to Florenzi now. Ball in, Rashford sends it home, buries it, and he's just on from a substitute as well. Absolutely outstanding power in that shot, and there's now 1 goal in this. It's all to play for How I Met Your Mata. That was a good bit of play there. That was really well played. I'm just going to change something for future reference so we can get that behind the goal view for replays. But yeah, Rashford sends it home, buries that shot, really showing himself to be a factor instantly in this game. He's immediately the second best player on the pitch, and he's only been playing for less than 10 minutes. That is how you make a statement. We see Ramadel Falcao has came on for Benzema, and Van de Beek has came off. I didn't see who it was for, but there may be some good choices, because Benzema and Van de Beek maybe not always been the most active. Promise picks the ball up, gets rid of it, does just sit right with Armini. Zaniolo is able to do anything, bring his team back into it. Florenzi in a good position, goes for the shot, miles off though. Really think that greed got the best of him there. He should have just waited for a second to set something up. As Blaise Matuidi, just going to say Blaise Matuidi. Blaise Matuidi, who sounds like a car, is on, and he has came on for Donny van de Beek. We have seen the first yellow card come on the way of Wakefield City, and it has went to Eric Bailey in defence, who is looking a little bit overwhelmed at the moment. Maybe just needs to calm down and relax into this game. Sejinas Undot has the ball out to Fernandez, hits it in. It is out to the number 1 assists, gets a nice cross in, it is cleared by Koulibaly, but right back to Alex Telles. See if he's able to craft something out here that he's been doing throughout this competition so far. McTominay sends the ball out, Wan-Bissaka in a bit of space. We've seen some really good performances out of the fullbacks here. Oh, it's Promise, Telles for the shot, and it's out. Oh, Neuer gets a hand to it. Brilliant stuff, and Alex Telles is an outstanding threat for this team. He is really someone to look out for. Don't know what type of defending that was supposed to be. I don't know why there were some words being exchanged in the corner there by the number 3 from How I Met Your Mata, but maybe just try to rile up the opponents. He is going for the ball now, doesn't get it. Firmino picks it up, and we are into the 90th minute of the game. It's injury time. Are we able to see any late drama, or is this the end of the game? Is Wakefield City going to run away with this and walk to their locker room with their hands in the air? Let's see. We have a highlight coming. Florenzini to Tolisso. Tries to go for the cross, it doesn't go anywhere, back to Florenzi. He's just playing it back to the defence. I probably wouldn't do it this moment, and the game is over. Wakefield City 3, How I Met Your Mata 2. What a performance, what 2 goals from Sejinas Undal and Bruno Fernandes, and you have to think in the locker room for How I Met Your Mata, all eyes are going to be on, was it Florenzi who scored the own goal? Or Tonali, can't really remember off the top, but whoever scored the own goal has to feel brutal about that. We can actually just check that. It was Florenzi. Did have a good performance overall and did set up a goal, but you have to feel that he'll be kicking himself and blaming himself for his team's loss in this one. So we'll go back to the studio now. Some good performance in this game, and hopefully we see some other good performances in the other games when we look at the results. But thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you back in the studio now. back in the studio now, and here's your spoiler warning. As always, if you want to create content on this, you're about to see all of the results, so if you don't wish to see them, you can look away now. So here are all the results from the day, and the number one to look at straight off the bat is ABT Boys has ended the undefeated and Wepo attack streak, and they are now top of the league. That's a fantastic performance. Immobile and Coke send that home, and that is really, really good to see from the men in pink. What a good performance that is to knock off the leaders and establish themselves as the top team. The next one you have to look at as well is that a 6-5 game in between Shithouse FC and Bayern Munchies, and even to add to that, 5 straight goals for Lionel Messi. Whoa, that is absolutely incredible. Shithouse FC still pick up the win though. We have goals from Vardy, Pogba, Osimhen, is it Osimhen? Osimhen, Dembele and Scott Brown to send that home. And the most interesting thing to see here is when you start off, if we even just go through it goal for goal. So we kick off, it's a goal for Shithouse FC. Bayern Munchies pull one back, we're 1-1. Bayern Munchies score another 3 goals, so it's 3-1 to Bayern Munchies now. Is it? It's 4-1, sorry, to Bayern Munchies now. So we're now looking at it. It's 4-1 to Bayern Munchies over Shithouse FC. No way they're going to be able to come back from this, right? Well, straight away when we come back, there's another goal from Pogba, brings it to 4-2. Then 3 goals in 60 minutes for the Shithouse FC. So that's bringing us up to 5-4 to Shithouse FC. An incredible comeback. But Bayern Munchies, refusing to be defeated, couple of minutes later managed to pick up the penalty and Lionel Messi converts it. That's it. The game's definitely going to finish like that, right? Nope, Scott Brown, the captain of Shithouse FC, scores a goal 1 minute later and Shithouse FC finish that game 6-5. What an incredible game that is. So much drama. That'll be great to see a breakdown from the Wattle guys when they look at that game. And some other games to look at there. Oblique Ramblers continue their comeback. Cristiano Ronaldo with his second hat-trick of this competition so far. And Waterloo Hotspur still struggling so badly. They did get a goal back. I believe that's Bernardo Silva who got that. But Johnny sent off at 37 minutes. It's just crushing for them that they are struggling so bad. And then joining them in that struggling position is Donmaster Rovers, who managed just 1 goal against Relegation Athletic, who went 2-0 up in the game. Martinez and Accardi, the 2 strikers. That's a good win for them. Above that, we have RB Keeps keeping themselves in this action with an 86-minute equaliser against Cornish Marauders. Aguero does continue scoring, but yeah, that's a really good draw for Keeps to keep themselves very relevant throughout this. Custard Donuts, third spot, looks like it'll be in threat now as Hoof FC send 2 past the 2 strikers, both before 20 minutes, putting Hoof FC 2-0 up, and similar to that, Fletcher Jets continues the miserable time Cookie Collective's having with 2 goals. Gabriel Jesus still banging those goals in left, right and centre. So that is a lot of information there, and we can now look at the league table to see how that has affected how things look. So as we can see, top of the league now is ABT Boys, as we discussed before, and Wepo Attack have still managed to hold on to their second place spot, which shows how well they've been playing. We have Hoof FC and Relegation Athletic. They would be swapped around counting goal difference as we do. So Relegation Athletic are currently in 3rd, with Hoof FC in 4th. Then we're looking down Custard Donuts, then Shithouse, and then perhaps more interesting to note is right down the bottom, we still have Waterloo Hotspur and Cookie Collective, each with not a single win to their name yet. That's devastating. Cookie Collective is minus 11 in goal difference. They are really getting whipped by everyone in this competition, and unfortunately after the win last week, Donmaster Rovers still struggling. Perhaps the biggest surprise for me at this moment is Bayern Munchies' collapse after they kicked off with a great win over Waterloo Hotspur, who we did think were going to be a top team at the time. They have unfortunately only managed 1 draw and 1 point from their next games, so they have been struggling as well. Looking over at the player stats, Cristiano Ronaldo with those 2 hat-tricks has put himself top of it, which is surprising after the bad start for Oblique Ramblers. But we have Messi, who's just established himself right up there after 1 game. Odson Edward has been knocked out of this now. Just after this, Aguero has himself in second. You have to think Aguero maybe a little bit more the consistent of all of them, whereas Ronaldo and Messi are more one game kind of guys to get up there. We have Mane, Ronaldo and Neymar rounding out the average ratings. Most assists now has went to Sterling. Looks like we've completely seen Telles knocked off after that game. Probably the high goal scoring that's done that, but Sterling, Mane and Mbappe are the top assists of everybody, and we have a couple of people joining Lukaku now with 2 man of the matches. The top 2 goalkeepers, it looks like, in the competition so far are Onana from Mwepu Attack and Alisson from ABT Boys, which makes sense as they are our top 2 teams. So that was a lot of stuff happened in that week. That is so much action, and the week before that as well. There's so many goals to look at. I can't wait for these 2 weeks to look at the top 10 goals of the week. That is going to be an absolute banger of a episode of that I'm expecting. But thanks as always guys for joining us today. This is a great episode of the CCL, and actually I have not said what the next ones are going to be. So now we're just going to have a little look at what games are coming up. So the next game, which we are not going to play live, is going to be in this one. So when you look at the top there, ABT Boys versus Waterloo Hotspur, you'd say ABT huge favourites for that one. Waterloo Hotspur second to the bottom, and ABT Boys right at the top. We have How I Met Your Mother versus Bayern Munchies towards the bottom of the table there. Not too much action happening. Cornish Marauders, Shithouse FC, great game. Shithouse been struggling recently. Marauders haven't been doing too bad, so a kind of mid-table clash at that point. Custard Donuts versus Relegation Athletic is my kind of game of that week. Custard Donuts did suffer a loss there. Relegation Athletic have been very consistent, and they have taken Custard Donuts' 3rd place position, so there's a bit of a fight going on, a bit of a battle between those two. We have Donmaster Rovers and Keebs. Keebs has the weak team on paper, but they just won't stop fighting, so Donmaster Rovers have a tough time there, but they are desperate to get a win. We have Oblique Ramblers versus Fletcher Jets. Oblique Ramblers seem to have hit their form. Maybe Ronaldo is going to put Fletcher's Jets in some trouble, but Jets have been kind of consistently mid-table the whole time. Hoof FC versus Cookie Collective, and Hoof FC are right up. They're a top tier team right now, and Cookie Collective dead last. Big favourites for Hoof FC going into that. And then we have a great game between Wakefield City and Mwepu Attack. And Mwepu are the 2nd place team. We just saw a great performance from Wakefield. So, some good stuff to see there. And then even jumping beyond that, we won't break this down too much as we'll look into that for the next one. And I think based on how it's on looking and what games exist in the following week, the game that makes most sense for us to look at is the Cookie Collective versus Oblique Ramblers, which will give us the scope for the following week to look at Fletcher's Jets versus Donmaster Rovers, and then potentially, I think Custard Donuts is the only team we haven't watched at that point. Or it depends, yeah, now that we're skipping, it doesn't matter anyways. So the game we will watch next time is my own team, the Oblique Ramblers versus Cookie Collective, who may or may not be still dead last by that point, but that's the game we'll come back and watch, and I hope to see us all back for that. That'll be really good for me to get to watch my own team play for the first time so far, and I appreciate you all watching this episode of the CCL, and as always, we hope to see you back next time in the league.